Denny Hamlin, William Byron on the front row right off the bat. Jay, we come to expect Denny Hamlin to be in the mix when it comes to a track like Daytona, Talladega Superspeedway. This season here in NR 2003, almost similar to real life, other than the fact that he got a win in real life, but he really hasn't been having that great of a season. I mean, last season he was towards the top of the board in the points. Right now, 10th on the board in points right now, having a bit of a rough season. Of course, haven't really seen him even compete for a victory other than when he was in the mix at Auto Club earlier this year.
And I believe Hamlin was our second most winningest driver last year as well, behind Kyle Larson. So Hamlin had a fantastic year last year, and like you said, struggling so far this year, but this is right where he wants to be at Talladega. We know how good of a plate track racer Denny Hamlin is, specifically at Daytona, not so much Talladega, but still, the plate track racing really does suit Hamlin's style, and he starts on pole, still leading currently, might be able to lead this first lap, but another good plate racer behind him, Chase Elliott, right there behind him, and already a bunch of 3 wide throughout this field. Saw Kyle Busch jump out to the outside 3 wide before they even got to the start-finish line. Back in the back of this pack, Denny Hamlin was 4 wide for a moment, got really close to Chase Briscoe. We've seen those two come together before, and luckily they didn't do it right there. Still 4 wide though in the back part of this pack. There's a couple rows of 4 wide there still going on. Nobody can get it figured out right here. Again, you know, you're 3 wide up towards the front, all the way back to the very middle of the pack, and somewhat even close to the back of the pack as well. So the energy really got restored very quickly, and you're seeing those 3 lanes can all work together, and you can really gain the momentum on those 2 outside lanes on the inside lanes. So right now, Martin Truex Jr. and Joey Logano both kind of playing the blocking game. You can see them go from the high side all the way down to the inside in the corners because they have the ability to right now while they're still free.
And through the trial, it will be Martin Truex Jr. winning stage 1. Look at the 4 wide action in the background. They're only going to have to get that sorted out very, very quick because the caution flies. They all slow down. And now we pay attention as they run down this pace car who's just exiting turn 2 right now.
You saw it. He had to slow down for the guys in front of him to pit. And
oh, Kurt Busch.
At least contact with Kurt Busch, who is a guy who needs to have a good finish today. That is certainly not going to help him get a good finish.
Some damage on both sides of his car right there.
Just like a toe?
No, I don't believe so. It didn't look like it, but I mean, at the same time, we haven't... Oh, Hamlin and Briscoe! Hamlin and Briscoe have had a run-in on the exit of the pit lane. That's quite hefty damage to that number 14, specifically on both ends of that car. There's no way that car is going to have the pace that it needs. Jay, do you remember who won this race last year in our NR 2003 series?
That was Ross Chastain.
That
yes,
was the number 42 of Ross Chastain, so don't rule him out. But even then, he's very lucky. It is still pretty early in the season. If he was able to go on a tear, finish top 10 every week, he could still make the playoffs here. But he definitely has to start doing that pretty much right now.
And this seems to kind of be the talk every single time we go to a play track on NR. It always seems like we see the lower names of the field, the guys in the back half of the points always find their way up towards the front of these races early on and in the middle portions of it. But then by the end, whether it be through chaos or whether it be just the top guys in the field suddenly turn it up, we'll still normally see everybody in the top half of the points suddenly filter their way back towards the front of this field. But right now, I think they're all just kind of trying to play it cautious and not get themselves involved in a wreck, and that's allowing guys who don't only see up front to race up front.
As well, you can see the distance. It is getting closer and closer. Within another lap and a half, they are going to be engulfing those 2 slow cars. They got to find a way to navigate around them in these closing laps of the stage. Well, we're about to find out right here because here we go. 4 laps remain in stage 1, and they are closing so quick. Kyle Busch to the outside, the smartest thing you potentially could have done here, and he is going to breeze by as, wow, look at this. Surprisingly, they're not holding them up as miserably as I thought they would, but still clearly a huge impact it's making because here comes Landon Castle to the inside, and he is going to breeze by, and Kyle Busch, I'm sure, cannot be happy because now here comes Kyle Larson as well. Jay, these guys got to sort it out quick.
3 wide for the lead on this final lap of the stage. Harrison Burton on the outside with a bunch of help. Tyler Reddick, our points leader, in the middle with a bunch of help. And then the inside lane getting grouped up a little bit for Christopher Bell right there. Now it's just 2 wide for the lead. Byron with some help from Truex. And I can't tell. Bell might still have it. He does. And Christopher Bell wins stage 2.
Christopher Bell, 10 points to his name, a playoff point. He's won stage 2.
3 wide, couple of rows on the pit lane here, and if these guys all are able to survive, that would be a miracle. And so far, we're having a dead stop.
Denny Hamlin's having issues.
Awkward.
Oh, Hamlin!
And he gets hit even more.
Denny! Oh my goodness, he's sabotaged.
Roll of cheese.
And look, what is that oil littered all over the pit lane there? Goodness me, the 78 has no front end. Denny Hamlin, his pit lane is taking him completely out of this race. A lot of more disorganization in this main back. The 3-4 wide, maybe, or the 4 wide at least, might have seen its end here in this Talladega race, but I still wouldn't put it past this AI to, of course, spice it up here before this race comes to a close. But I mean, still, nonetheless, a big difference from what we've seen so far in the first 2 stages. Kyle Busch has taken the lead in this final stage and has been able to remain in that front position, but will that last? Because, well, they're still side by side, and these AI, they're really going to have no choice to make here. They're just going to have to hope for the best outcome possible, and they got about 5 seconds to make that decision of what they're going to do. Kyle Busch is going to stay planted on the inside, but look at the difference in pace. Jay Truex, who's that third lane, might have a chance here, but no, they're going to cover that too.
And the biggest thing I was worrying about for a second was maybe the slowdown, the checkup for all the drivers, but it looks like everybody kind of checked up for it all right. We didn't see anybody run into each other, and now it's just a matter of trying to find your time to get around. And William Byron up on the outside lane. Looks like I thought he was going to stick his nose out there and go for it. Decided to stay behind the 17, so here comes his teammate of Alex Bowman with Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick as well. Now they go up to block the high side on the exit of the corner. The inside lane is now open, so it's really a cat and mouse game. Oh, Kyle Busch really close there, coming down in front of Kyle Larson, but it's really a cat and mouse game of when you decide to go. Now it looks like the slow cars are also in the same lane. So we might get to see 2 lanes work around there. It looks like the outside lane might get by them heading into the corner. And nope, never mind. There goes the 78 to block that. So it's just once again
the 17 is going to jump down. He's not as slow, but still slow enough to make, of course, a difference. And look at the momentum right there. Kyle Busch is going to check up Kyle Larson to the inside, but you can see, Jay, that 14 plants himself directly kind of in the middle of 2 lanes.
In the middle, yeah. Chase Briscoe's going to go back up to the high side. There he goes, and now he blocks the outside lane. Now Kyle Larson in that inside lane. They're going to have to try and get by. And actually, Kyle Busch looks to the inside. He's
Kyle Busch! There Kyle Larson! Oh my goodness, the leader up and over goes to 47. This is going to be huge! Unbelievable crash. Oh, the big one strikes. The caution flies. Bowman up and over. Stenhouse up and over. There's still cars closing in. They're going to go to the outside, thank goodness. But hold on, here comes the other group of cars, and they make it through. Here's a look while we're under caution in Talladega. You see Kyle was kind of get fed up with the lap car right there of Chase Briscoe, and it looks like they saved it for a second, Jay, but obviously it turns on into full-on mayhem.
And Kyle Larson here, that second pack coming, and just no way to avoid. Austin Cindric goes for a wild ride. So does Alex Bowman. So does Kyle Larson. You can see in the background multiple cars up and over, multiple cars as well.
Here's a look at some of the drivers that found themselves going up and over there. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. being the first one right there, goes up and over. And then, of course, you're going to see in the background, I mean, multiple cars. The 48, Kyle Larson, of course, has gone up and over as well. Many cars up and over on their roofs here. On board with Justin Haley in a part of this massive accident here. You'll see him go up and under that number 4 of Kevin Harvick as they go wrecking in the distance there. What a massive crash here from Talladega. And now, Jay, unfortunately, we saw Hendrick Motorsports stable really get absolutely destroyed right there. William Byron, the only one in this main pack now. The other one remaining is Chase Elliott, but clearly he's actually struggling to keep up with Cody Ware. So not a lot of pace in that 9 car who was involved in that incident. Hendrick Motorsports, now really all they have is 1 car that can compete against this Joe Gibbs Racing 2-car tango.
Yeah, we were talking about Hendrick Motorsports outnumbering Joe Gibbs 4-2, and now all of a sudden a Joe Gibbs driver sparks an incident, and it's back in Joe Gibbs' favor. Now they got the 2 cars still up here, but Kyle Busch, he was just leading a lap ago. Now look at him falling way back on the outside of this lane. As soon as I say that, though, Austin Dillon goes to the inside. They're going to take Ross Chastain 3 wide. They do it momentarily. The immediate leaders get around, but he almost blocked. Truex does block the middle lane, the inside lane, and even possibly the outside lane if Kyle Busch doesn't hurry, but Kyle Busch does get around. And Chastain blocks 2 lanes.
He's blocking everything here as they come through the tri-oval. And now we have a 3-car breakaway, but, I mean, it's not going to be enough to, of course, pull away as these guys will get it sorted out here. And Eric Jones actually has managed to run down this pack here, so don't count him out there.
We got a couple others, Daniel Suarez, Todd Gilliland, and so everybody, I think, really trying to hunt down their first win of the season as well. And also, I think Ryan Blaney, who hasn't got a win yet, which is really surprising to say.
Correct. Blaney is 4th in the standings, but has just not been able to get a win here. But Kyle Busch to the lead, come to the final 2 laps here from Talladega. Busch leaves the door open for Cole Custer, who is one of those drivers that is right now not in a good spot in the points. But Jay, here he comes through, takes the lead.
That inside lane, Kyle Busch trying to work his way around on the outside with help from Austin Dillon and his teammate Martin Truex Jr. up on the high side, and Tyler Reddick as well. So right now it's Toyota and Chevy versus 2 Fords on the inside.
White flag in the air, Custer leads. Here comes Todd Gilliland, who would love to be an upset here now. Keep in mind, though, you got to be in the top 30 in points to make the playoffs with a win. You never know what's going to happen with that 38 or the 41. Here comes Byron to the inside. That could shake things up. He has a huge run, and Jay's got help from Suarez.
And Byron was a guy who was almost out of the pack just a couple laps ago. Now fighting for the lead down into turn 3. Has the inside advantage. Daniel Suarez behind him. He needs a win this season. Will we see Byron go to the high side and Suarez take the inside advantage down into the tri-oval?
Out of turn 4, down the front straightaway for the final time. Byron leads. Suarez, does he have anything? No, he doesn't.
Joey and Eric Jones are here.
Not going to be enough, though. It's going to be Byron going to get his second win of the season in Talladega. Unbelievable, Jay. The odds were against the drivers winning because we only had 3 drivers up in this main pack that already had to win this season. But here comes William Byron with a big push on the final lap, and he's going to say, I am not having any of these playoff spoilers. I'm going to just take it over myself. And he, for the first time, unlike last season, has won multiple races here, part of our NR2003 series. What a final lap dash for Byron, and Daniel Suarez, a great finish for him, and same for Cole Custer and Corey LaJoie, Eric Jones, all inside the top 5.
And I think what saved William Byron's race was usually the AI will go up to the high side off of turn 4 and get themselves caught off guard going into the tri-oval. But that time he didn't do it. He was cleared to, but didn't do it. Stayed in the inside lane, was able to cover them off, and did not give Daniel Suarez momentum because he also had a big push coming from behind before LaJoie and Eric Jones.